The low carbohydrate sort of diet is definitely not new. I mean, diabetics used to be told to avoid carbohydrates. It's only later on with the insulin being better and more accessible, we were told, well, eat what you want and cover it with insulin.
Exactly.
I tell people I was diagnosed 44 years ago. And when I was first diagnosed, it was a low carbohydrate. No one labeled it as a low carbohydrate diet, but my mother was given a list of foods, rice and bread, and I think certain fruits to limit, and other foods to eat more of. And those other foods actually included meat.
Yeah.
And I don't know, 20 years later, it was, we were told, oh, no, you don't have to worry about eliminating anything, eat what you want. And that my health until I discovered the ketogenic diet. So it's not new, the low carbohydrates diet concept, but why is it that we don't have many long-term studies on it? What do you think? I'm surprised.
Well, I think a couple things. One, even though it's been around for over a century, treating epilepsy even as a medical intervention, it just wasn't popular. It wasn't like super popular until Atkins wrote his book. But the I guess you can say traditional medical and dietary communities always dismissed it because it is unhealthy by definition. There's no need to study it. We know it's unhealthy because it has fat. It has animal products. Therefore, it must be unhealthy. Why even bother studying it? So when you're up against that level of bias, it's no surprise that people didn't study it. One, who's going to fund it? And two, when you go to publish it, is if you have a superior who's helping you publish things, are they going to be interested in that? Probably not, right? So if you're like a PhD student or a postdoc or even brand new on faculty, do you want to create the waves and really upset the powers that be by studying this? So I think that has a lot to do with it, unfortunately. But now we're seeing that tide start to turn. It's both popular and starting to get better understanding about the science behind it, that there is actual science here that we need to look at more carefully because there are definite benefits. And, Virta Health has done a great job in really paving the way for science by doing their own studies that they show can reverse type 2 diabetes. But not just that, they improve symptoms of depression. They decreased inflammation. They reduced their cardiovascular risk. All of these findings came out of their studies that they're doing. And when you see that, that's the impetus to say, okay, we have to study this further because this is a signal we cannot ignore.